name's Emma, and the other day PlayStation let me into their office for a 2-hour hands-on session with Until Dawn. I was able to capture my actual gameplay of Until Dawn, so everything that you see behind me here is stuff that I myself have played. So I'm gonna make a couple of videos on Until Dawn. I will make a second one after this about choices, but I also want to make one about questions that you guys have about the game. So if you want to know anything else which I don't actually cover, please let me know in the comments and I will formulate them into another video. So what the heck is Until Dawn? You may have not heard of it. It is a PlayStation exclusive coming out next month. It is developed by Supermassive Games. The premise of it is quite simple. It is a horror teen slasher set in a cabin in the snowy woods. And in this cabin, there are 8 characters and you're able to control all of them throughout the events of this one night where a serial killer is after them. The characters sort of fit into their stereotypical teen slasher sections. The characters, they're very much teenage, they like to take selfies, they're after just trying to get laid, which is again very teenage and fits that genre well. So how does Until Dawn sort of play out? I would describe it as a mix between Cabin in the Woods. It's where this is a horror game but you yourself know it's a horror game and the game knows it's a horror game. It does sort of play up the tropes of the teen slasher mixed with a game like Heavy Rain. So a lot of this is about choices and you sort of continue on with the story. There is no point where you can sort of save it and do the other section. It automatically saves when you pick an activity, so there is just a bunch of ways that you can get through this game. So the very premise of this as a game I really like. We've got quite a few horror games come out over the years, as you guys would probably know, but we haven't actually had a good teen slasher, even though that is quite popular in movie form, so I'm really happy that they went this route. So how does this game actually play? So it's a third-person game, though you can't control the camera in this, so it's very much a throwback to a lot of other horror games in the past, like Resident Evil. I really do like how they inputted that into this game. And as I mentioned, it is quite similar to Heavy Rain, so a lot of the game focuses around quick time events and sort of choosing an option at certain time. I have no issue with this type of thing, like QTEs, especially a game surrounded by it. I know people will have issues with that, and that's totally fine. This game isn't for everyone. As I said, with the choices, they revolve around a thing called the butterfly effect. Pretty much whenever you make a big decision, a butterfly comes up in the corner and that automatically saves your game. And obviously the butterfly effect means, you know, one thing affects the other. So I have a feeling everything is going to stack on top of each other and you're going to end up with a completely different ending as the next person who plays the game. With the characters, you can jump from them from one to the other. I'm just assuming you have as much with that person as long as they're still alive. All characters in this game can die, all characters can live. So I'm sort of looking forward to as well doing multiple playthroughs and seeing if I can kill everyone and seeing if I can save everyone and everything in between. So how does Until Dawn deal with atmosphere and scares? Well, the 2 hours that I sort of have put into the game so far, a lot of this wasn't actually to do with scares in the particular, like the serial killers going after you. I think they've sort of eased you into this game. It is supposed to be 8 to 9 hours, so they were sort of leading you in. There was some jump scares, which, as if you've seen anything that I've played, which is horror, I am a baby when it comes to things, so I scream all the time. So I did actually get freaked out, but I didn't get to any of the actual super scary parts. Some other cool things that were in the game is you actually get taken out of being in the teen slasher house and into an interrogation room, and this is completely sort of separate from the game, where they ask you personal questions about what you're scared of and what you're not. So I was flicking through in one of the sessions a book and I had to pick from one or the other of what I was most scared of. These decisions that you make in this room both reflect what you see in the interrogation room the next time you're in it. So it sort of got all decayed, and I said I was scared of snakes, so there was a snake on the desk there. And as well, which is more interesting, is it actually has effects on what happens in the actual Until Dawn story. So if you, for example, said that you were afraid of needles, the serial killer will come at you with a needle, though if you switched and said you were scared of suffocation, they come out to you with a gas mask. mask. So that's really cool. I think that they're integrating stuff that I or whoever's playing is personally scared of and sticking that into the game. It does add a really nice touch to horror, and just in general that they're putting time into scaring people. Well, some of the things that I noticed is there is collectibles in the game, and you use them to piece together mysteries in it. So you can check a flyer for a wanted person, and that will go into a menu, and you can check through what you found so far to obviously solve the mysteries that have been happening around. And as well, in these menu systems, you have both a characteristics and a relationships factor in there, and I'm really excited to see how this sort of integrates into the rest of the story. But for example, there was a part where I played where the person told me we were supposed to give it a high five, and I got the quick time event. But if you would have missed it, your relationship factor with that certain person would have gone down a bit, which is quite cool. I'm wondering if people are going to turn against each other and things like that because their relationship meter have gone down, or try to save people because it's gone up. I thought that was a really nice touch and something which makes this game a lot more in-depth than what I first thought. The final thing that I wanted to talk about in the game was you do use the controller and its sort of motion effects. The one which I liked that they definitely used was this thing where it was don't move. So obviously if you're scared of a game, you're going to be shaking, you're going to be anxious, and probably moving around. So when freaky moments occur, you've got this don't move thing, and it's measuring you, which is damn cool in a sense that that is quite a good way to actually use some of the motion sensors in the DualShock 4. So I'm happy they included that in as well. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, if I have not covered off something which you want to know about Until Dawn, please leave it in the comments below, and I will try my best to answer the question from what I've played of it so far. If you're not already, please go check out my Twitter, link is in the description below if you want to talk some more about video games. And if you're new here, please go check out some of my other videos, and if you like them, make sure you subscribe. Thank you everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!